Aloha and mahalo, Brother Johnny. Thank you so much for taking some time for me.
Sure.
Good to finally get to talk to you. For the record, it was 2007 when you last played here, right?
Yes, it was.
You have any memories of that visit?
No, it was real nice. Real nice. I got a ukulele on that trip.
And what else sticks out about it?
Oh, it was just really pretty. People were very nice.
And was that the last time you were here, or have you visited since when you came to play?
No, that was it.
Prior to 2007, how many other times have you come to play live?
That was it. That was it for Hawaii. It was the first time we played was 2007.
Wow, that was your debut after all these years.
Yes, it was.
It's funny you mentioned your last time here, you picked up the ukulele. Your musical journey really has a piece of Hawaii prominently featured right in the very root of your history. When you and Edgar were very young, you went on the Don Mahoney and Gina Claire show, and I was hoping that you'd share some memories of doing that, what you can remember, because it involved a critical instrument to Hawaii, the ukulele, and you playing it on TV.
Yeah, that was the first time that we were on TV. We started out playing ukuleles.
What drew you to the ukulele?
I really can't remember. I was like 9 or 10 when we started playing. My father played banjo, and it was tuned the same way, so he taught me the first few chords on the uke. That's probably what got us started.
And then you took it on TV. What was it that you guys played?
Oh, we played all kinds of different stuff. We sang harmonies, parts, and can't remember any of the songs that we did so long ago.
Did you keep up with the ukulele, or did you just move on, and that was really just an initial instrument, if you will?
Yeah, I started playing guitar when I was about 12. I started playing uke when I was about 9. My hands got big enough for guitar at 12, and I figured I'd better switch.
And then you never owned one until your trip back here?
No, never did.
Wow, so it's kind of like coming full circle in a way.
It sure was.
What about pedal steel or steel guitars?
Never tried steel at all.
That could be something you grab on your next trip, I'm just thinking. Another piece of Hawaii music that you can conquer, yeah?
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't happen to have video footage or film footage, do you, Johnny, of when you and Edgar were on that show as little kids?
Oh, no, so long ago. I don't think they were doing it back then. It'd be great if we did.
Man, I bet, huh?
Pictures of us back then, but no videos.
You have pictures of you as a little boy with the uke?
Yep, sure do.
That's great. When you were here, did you actually bust one out on stage the last time?
No, I didn't use a uke.
Maybe this time you can bust that thing out. You know, a few years after that happened to you, it was really, when you read your history, there's a lot of great people you kind of bump into that you end up working with, and as you listen to the sound that you've laid out for us for decades, you can really see where the roads, I guess, cross, the paths cross. And one of those guys is coming to Honolulu in April himself, and that's B.B. King.
Yes.
I was hoping you'd kind of take me back when you were just a kid in Beaumont, Texas, at the Raven. What are your recollections of that critical experience with B.B.?
Well, I really wanted B.B. to hear me play, and I always loved his music. And he thought we were from the IRS, we were white people there. He was kind of behind his taxes, and he thought we were from the IRS coming to bug him about his taxes. I think he was so glad that we weren't that he would let me play, even though he didn't know if I could or not. He never heard me. He didn't know if I was any good or not.
And so he let you up. What happened?
Oh, I got standing ovation.
And you played just one tune?
Yes.
With him or by yourself?
With the whole band, with his band.
And he up there too?
No, he wasn't. He had to use his guitar, so he wasn't playing.
Was it Lucille?
Yeah, it was. It was Lucille. I got to play Lucille.
I can imagine why you'd never forget that.
No, it was the first time I played for black people, and they liked it. You know, and that really, I figure if you can make black people like a white kid playing blues, it's got to be pretty cool.
There's no question about that, man. I was curious if you had any memories of when you used to hang with Clarence Garlow, the DJ at KJET, and kind of describe maybe for me what you learned from him, Johnny.
Well, he was the first blues guy that I ever met. He had a radio show from 5 to 6 on KJET, and I listened to him all the time. I met him the first time I was giving guitar lessons at the music store, and he came in to buy strings, and I recognized his voice and started playing one of his songs. And he came back and introduced himself. He said, "You know who I am, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And, we talked for a while. And he used to call up and ask him to play songs for me all the time on the radio.
And so you feel like, was that sort of one of your introductions into the blues?
Yeah,
Did you keep in touch with him after you became a successful musician?
Yeah, I did. He came over. I was in Beaumont and did a newspaper interview where I mentioned him as one of my influences, and it really made him happy. He came over and we jammed a little bit and talked.
That's really cool of you. It shows a lot about where you come from as a person. And last summer, I was really lucky, Johnny. I got to see your brother. I've seen him before, but last summer I got to see him with Ringo Starr at Radio City Music Hall.
Right, yeah.
It was a great gig. How often do you guys talk?
Edgar and I?
Yeah.
I just talked to him yesterday.
So you talk every day, every other day?
No, we usually talk every month or so, but it was my birthday yesterday, so he called me up.
And happy belated birthday. What's your vibe like with him? What do you guys talk about?
Oh, we didn't talk about much. He just wished me happy birthday. We talk.
Would you say you're not that close to him these days?
Oh, I'm very close to him. Yeah, I really love Edgar. We don't really see each other that much, but I always, care about him, and he cares about me. So we don't really have to talk. We know the way each other feel about each other. So it's not really that important.
Right, because you both have established it over the course of the years. That makes sense. When you think about your brother, what do you think some of his gifts or talents are, Johnny?
Well, he's one of the most talented musicians I've ever met. So I would rank his talent up there with Ray Charles.
Okay. And for what? His versatility with instrumentation?
He can play anything. He can play any instrument without even trying to. He can just pick up. He plays drums, bass. But the only thing he doesn't play is guitar, and he used to play that. But I started getting into guitar, so he just plays everything else. In his first band, he took people that couldn't play anything and taught them all how to play. I couldn't believe he could do that.
And why do you think he would do that rather than get seasoned pros?
I think they were just the only people that were around. He didn't really have access. He was just a little kid. He didn't really have access to good musicians.
When was the last time you guys actually jammed together?
We did a blues cruise 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah, he played with my band. He sat in.
Okay, so it's like you guys together with your band backing you up.
Yeah, yes, it was.
That sounds tasty.
We had a lot of fun doing it.
I can imagine. I can really imagine. The guy is so versatile. Like I remember watching him up there with Ringo, just thinking he's such a showman. He's so talented. He has so much energy and enthusiasm.
Oh, he can play anything. He can really play anything.
When you think back to when you guys were kids, and we were talking about this earlier, and I'm just fascinated because I'm sure you can understand being here in Hawaii. Were you both playing the ukulele, or was it just you?
No, both. I started playing first because I was 2 years older, and then he started playing ukulele after I did.
Would you play together ever?
Yeah, we played together all the time.
Harmonizing and stuff on the ukulele?
We sang harmony and both played uke.
And that's nice that you picked one up the last time you were in the state, too.
Guy in Hawaii had one that he made especially for me.
Say that again, Johnny?
There was a Hawaiian guy that made the ukulele especially for me.
As a gift?
Yes.
What a nice thing.
No, I thought it was very nice.
That's cool. Is that just a fan at the show, or is that somebody whose name you have?
I don't remember his name. I should, but I don't.
It's okay. You're giving him credit anyway. Well, as we wrap this up, one of the shows that you did that I'm always curious what people think of, Johnny, and I'm sure you've talked about it many times, but all these years later, with the perspective of hindsight, if you will, think about back to Woodstock. How does Woodstock stack up against a lot of the other festivals you've experienced?
Well, it was the best, definitely the biggest. It was a mess, though. It was rainy and muddy. It was a real mess, but it was still great.
How did you get there?
Helicopter, you couldn't drive in the roads at all. I mean, there were miles and miles of cars. Everybody had to get in by helicopter.
People just left their cars on the side of the road, huh?
Yeah, left their cars and walked. Some people walked like 10 miles to get there.
That's just crazy. It's hard to imagine people doing that today.
It's impossible to imagine doing it.
Yeah, leaving your car, it's like, forget that.
No, everybody wanted to go so bad. They do all kinds of things to get there.
Did you see any other performers when you were there? Was there any performances that stick out?
I was really tired. I was really tired, and I went to sleep on a bag of garbage for a pillow as soon as I got there. And I got up to see what was going on, and they said, "Oh, you guys are all here. Go on now." So I didn't see anybody, and we left as soon as we were through. But it was really hard to get out.
Amazing. Well, I hope that we can get together when you come to town, and I really appreciate you taking some time for me, brother.
No, sure.
I look forward to seeing you when you come to town.
All right, I look forward to seeing you too.
Travel safe, my brother.
Sure will.
Aloha.
Take